Hey YouTube, Savandros here, and today I have some amazing news for us iPad owners. Apple just hosted a conference for WWDC 2025 where they revealed some major updates coming across all of their platforms. In this video, we'll focus on all of our iPadOS updates, where we'll be getting iPadOS 26. Now, iPadOS 26 may seem like a big jump in the number, but they're trying to unify the number across all of their platforms as well. So we'll also be getting iOS 26 and macOS 26. By the way, before we get into it, iPadOS 26 will be bringing all of its changes to the iPad regular as well as the iPad mini, so it won't be gatekept by just the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. It will be compatible with all the iPads listed on the screen right now. Now, to jump into our updates, we're having massive reworks across the board when it comes to how we multitask on the iPad, and this will include how we use general multitasking windows, like how we resize our windows, how we work with audio, and how we work with files. So first up, we'll speak on multitasking. With iPadOS 26, we can now multitask with up to 6 windows, raising the cap from 4. We also have the ability to freely resize our windows, whereas we used to have to drag them very stiffly, and it didn't end up working all too well. I'm even working on that workflow right now, and it's not too fun. We can also use our new windowing system with Stage Manager and use it with an external display. So now external display capability should theoretically be much more capable. It's already pretty nice, but it has tons and tons of bugs. It honestly feels like a beta when we're using external monitors on the iPad right now. We also now have familiar controls like what we see on our desktops and PCs. We can now minimize our windows, we can close them out, and we can enlarge them. We have a little sidebar in the top left of all our apps when we open them, and then if we minimize them, we can just click them again and they'll pop up in the same spot. Additionally, we have multiple ways to rearrange our apps on the screen now. We have a way where we can just kind of move it over with our finger and it will take a spot. And we can have up to 6 apps also show on the screen, not just be behind each other all at once. There's also a feature they've put in here called Expose, where we can basically just show all of our currently running windows if we want to get a sense of which window we want to focus on. Something really cool is now we will have a menu bar on the iPad where we'll be able to use controls like we would on a computer. So we can just look at all the controls for our app, and we also have a search bar where we can find out things about our app if we don't know how to use it correctly. I'm hoping developers really support their menu bars on their app because they can personally customize it to give us more capability on their app and be able to find more things. Moving on to the Files app, we can now get more details about the files we're working with, and we can also color code and put icons on our folders, which will really help for differentiating them when you're looking across your Files app rather than having to read every folder to find what you're looking for. And this will also sync across your different devices. We can also now just drag our folders from the Files app onto our dock, and we can access our files quickly just by clicking on the folder, and it will just basically show a menu of all our files with quick access. For PDFs, we can now use the Preview app, which will allow us to view, edit, and mark up files right on our iPad, and this is actually a Mac app that's coming to the iPad. We also now can have background tasks running on our iPad, which is something that has been holding back apps and developers for years on the iPad. But now we can basically run intensive tasks in the background. So let's say if we're exporting our video from a video app, we can just do that and then go to a different app and work in there, and we'll see the progress of our export at the top of our iPad, and then we can just come back once it's done. We won't lose any data, and our app won't just restart on us where we lose all our progress, which has been a problem for a while. Now, something really cool to me about the audio is we finally can choose our audio input and output on the iPad, and we can do this for different apps as well. So now if we say we have 2 different audio input devices, like we're using our microphone to record a video, and then we're also using a microphone from, say, our AirPod, we can choose in our apps which microphone we want to use as a source for our audio. And as an addition to this, they've added in some features to our AirPods where they'll record our voice much more clear, and we can basically use it as a microphone for recording if we don't have our own mic. Outside of multitasking, we'll also be getting some powerful tools like Apple Intelligence, which will allow us to do live translation of languages. We can also enhance our writing and create images. Something I'm excited about, which will be coming to all iOS devices, is the Games app, where we'll be able to launch all of our games from one app. Finally, we have some UI updates which will be across all Apple devices once again, which will be called Liquid Glass. Liquid Glass will essentially just make our UI more transparent to help with visibility, and it's made to enhance the look of our UI as a whole. Additionally, we'll also be getting shortcuts in some apps that work with our UI. iPadOS 26 is coming out fall officially, but you can also try it out now by signing up for the Apple Developer Program and joining a developer beta. You can also try the free public beta, which should be more stable next month if you sign up for that. If you decide to participate in the beta, just make sure that you back up your iPad, as it can always lead to problems. I'll tell a story. One time I put a beta on my iPad, then I tried to transfer to a new iPad. So bad that it messed up the whole iPad for Apple, and they had to send it back to the factory, and I couldn't get my iPad the day I bought it. So just make sure you guys do that. I'm very excited about these betas, so I think I'm actually going to sign up for the developer beta, because I've been getting tired of all the frustrations I've had with iPad not becoming a more mature platform for software. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. Also hit the bell if you want to see more updates on the channel. You can also join our Discord down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.